Welcome, everybody.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to have you all here. I'm a big Dark Matter fan. We have Dark Matter fans here. So let's start with a simple question. When you first started in Dark Matter, what did you think the show was about?
You mean as opposed to what it actually is about?
When you first read the script, people wake up on a spaceship and have no memories. What did you think this show was about?
I mean,
It's a show about...
that's really all we knew. That's all we knew. We didn't really know much else. I mean, the writers didn't give us a lot of information whatsoever. So we just found out whatever was in the scripts, and they wouldn't really give us anything extra unless we really needed to know for our character.
Yeah, no. But what I liked about it was it asked, I said, that bigger question about, who are we, the sum of our parts. Or can we redefine ourselves, make ourselves who we want to be, and live this wonderful life of bliss and, all that sort of thing? Or are we bound by our experiences? So.
I thought I was an android. I totally thought I was going to be an android for some reason.
Well, I mean,
they wouldn't let me, they wouldn't give me any hints, but after I read the first 6 scripts, I was like, guys, it's really important that you let me know if I'm an android. I need to know for my motivations.
I remember you saying that, actually. I remember you saying that you thought that.
And they wouldn't let on, and they were like, nope, for all intents and purposes, you are flesh and blood. And then...
And then we find out.
Unless you haven't watched it.
But I'm assuming the people here have watched it, so...
You're all caught up. And if you're not, you shouldn't be here because we have a lot to talk about.
You should be here.
Well, yeah.
Should be here. We'll get to you, sir. We will get to the finale. You, sir.
Uh-oh.
Zoe, I want to talk about the android, who I've decided in season 2, if they don't start calling her Anne, I'm going to be really unhappy.
Anne,
Right, yeah.
She deserves a name.
Yeah, I thought about that. I thought maybe but I don't know now. It might be kind of fun to call her Android the whole time of the... I don't know.
I'm heartbroken. I want her to be named Anne.
All right. Well, I'll talk to her.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, send a memo to Joe Malazzi.
Yeah.
No,
There was some kind of a name competition at some point, I thought, that Joe did for the Android. I thought there was something, unless I jumped that.
I like Zobot.
Yeah, that's what we call me on set.
I know that's like a Twitter thing, but I really like it.
Zobot.
Well, you play this android so beautifully.
Oh, thanks. That's nice of you to say.
Especially for those of us who know you from Lost Girl. It's
Right.
so different.
Yeah.
And so mechanical. I believe you're an android.
Good.
Wait a sec, she's not?
Yeah.
No.
But I think that the android has had some of the greatest one-liners on the show. Do you have a favorite?
Oh, God, I don't know. Favorite line? Oh, yeah, you know what? I was thinking about? There's the twinning scene. The twinning scenes are when I'm in a scene essentially with myself, who's the red android. And there's a moment where we walk up to each other and we're just side by side, and I turn, and we turn to each other, and I say, I'm an android with friends. And I walk off. Yeah, there's something
so
nice
cute.
about that. I love doing the twinning scenes. They're very difficult, but they're fun to see at the end.
How are those shot? Do you do one and then the other? Do you have a preference on which you do
Yeah,
first?
so you have an actor who comes in to play so that you play off of. And yeah, you memorize both sides, and so does that actor. And Tatiana Maslany from Orphan Black would be a good person to talk to about this, because that's pretty much all she does on that show. But yeah, you just learn both parts, and they shoot it that way. And then the ones where you're together, sometimes they'll have to take a screenshot, a still of where your eye line is, because actors aren't always exactly the same height. So if you're not careful, you're trying to look at somebody's eyes, but in fact you're looking at their nose or their head, or it looks a little weird. So they'll do like a screenshot so that you can figure out exactly what makes the most sense, where you should look. And then it's difficult.
It's more complicated than you think it would be. It's more complicated than you think it would
It
be.
is.
Really.
It is complicated.
You
but
guys should do it later.
Yeah.
Like with your friends, like when you're talking to them, just kind of look at their forehead the entire time while you're talking to them.
See if they notice.
Yeah, it's like I'm totally listening to you. Trust me. That could be weird.
Do you have a preference on which one you prefer to do first, the android, or as I like to call her, evil android?
Whoever has the most complicated lines, I like to do first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roger, I'm ignoring you because I'm still mad at you.
But we shared a bed.
We did share a bed. Yeah. That's a weird
Out
joke.
of context. Guys, it's totally PG. It was an interview.
For those who
above
don't
the
know,
covers.
it was an
It's
interview
awful.
that we did down at ComicCon, and we did it in a bed. And with Anthony
Anthony was
Lemke,
there.
who played 3, so she had the threesome with us. There.
Anthony's always there.
Not like that.
It was his idea. It was Anthony's idea. Let's blame him.
Did he bring the bed?
No. Oddly, the publicist brought the bed.
Publicists always have a bed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, good times. So let's get back to the matter at hand. Sorry. So I wonder, since season 2 has already been shot and is coming out so soon, is there anything you can tease?
Well, have you seen the trailer?
There have been 2 trailers that have come
Yeah,
out
yeah,
so far.
yeah.
One of
I
them
mean,
just shows a little bit, but one of them shows
shows a lot.
quite a bit, and you can tell
Yeah.
it gets a lot darker, which I think is one of the...
Yeah, and that
biggest
prison
hints of season 2.
scene and the fights and all that,
Yeah.
it's just on a grander scale, and it's so much. It's going to be a lot of fun. You guys are going to enjoy it.
It's like non-stop action this season.
Yeah,
Something is
yeah,
always
yeah.
happening.
Yeah. But we're still really grappling with the ideas of who we are and who we want to be, and
Yeah.
every single character is really dealing with that. Whereas I don't think everyone dealt with that theme last season, but this season, every single main character on our ship grapples with the idea of who was I, who am I, who do I want to be, and who do I have the potential to be based off of certain paths that I could take or things that I could do. There's a lot of inner landscape battles happening as well as outside battles too.
Do we get more answers?
Just more questions.
Great. That
It's true.
sounds like a quality sci-fi show right
It's
there.
For every
just-
one
it's
question
true,
in
though.
season 1,
you
we
get
have 10 for
answers
season
that
2.
lead to more questions.
Yeah. You guys got to do a lot of great fight sequences. What was your favorite fighting moment from season 1?
Season 1.
Roger, you can start if
If
you have to speak.
You're talking to me now. I'm so happy. My fighting, I think, is when he discovered. I think it's not really a fight, but when he found out that he had inadvertently blew up 10,000 people, and he takes those guys out.
You gotta
I think
forgive
that
yourself.
Was,
You gotta forgive yourself.
yeah,
I mean,
you
it
know what I mean?
happens.
It happens.
You know.
He's a revolutionary, some say, instead of, anyways, no, mass murderer. No, but that was probably mine.
I think my favorite from season 1 was when I'm going back in the crew's memories, and when I'm 4, I get to do some sword fighting, which I've never done before, so I actually got to learn how to do that, and I really enjoyed it. It was just, something different. I like learning new things. There's a lot more in season 2 for 5, though. I wish I could tell you about it, but next year.
So lots of fighting?
Maybe.
Like hand to
I
hand
didn't say.
combat?
What are you talking about? I didn't give any hints.
Trying to
at
get you
all.
guys answers.
No spoilers.
Well, they've seen that one. You slapped my character.
Oh yeah, that's in the trailer.
Are we arguing that he didn't deserve it?
Somebody who looks a lot like me fights in a bar, but I don't know who that is.
My favorite fight scene from season 1 was in the casino downstairs in the basement where I take down like 5 dudes in 13 seconds. It's crazy.
yeah.
That was a really fun choreography. I love 2's fights because they're very intricate. They remind me a bit of origami because it's very hand-to-hand. It has to be very precise. I loved all of her fights from last season. She gets her ass kicked in season 2. Yeah, I think that's a lot of fun to explore, and she doesn't always beat other people up next season, and that's going to be really different to watch. I'm interested to see how those shake down. Yeah.
I'm so excited. In season 1, was there something when you were reading the script that, as you learned more about your characters, that really surprised you? For all of you.
I had no idea that they were going to sort of make the choice that she would start to figure out that there was something else, there was more to her than that she was just an android. I mean, she's an android, of course, but that there was just more, she was more complicated than that. And so that was interesting discovery as we shot for me.
Well, as many of you may know, we didn't know who the mole was until just before we shot it. He literally, we filmed half the day, and it was just before we shot that scene that he went through and did and you're the mole. So that was probably the most surprising thing for me. But I mean, we'd figured it out pretty quickly when we'd first read it.
Yeah.
And then he did
And then we
some
started to second-guess
misdirections and
ourselves.
threw us off the thing, and we didn't know. And
They
then
literally sent people in for costume fittings
They
that
did.
were not the mole
Yeah,
to
yeah.
throw us off.
They
It was
did.
ridiculous.
Well, he filmed telling us all too. So there's footage on Joe Melosi has a blog, and he's put it up there. So he shot him telling us exactly who it was.
He had
Yeah.
so much fun with
So
that.
we learn it
Too
on
much
camera.
fun.
You
Are
not the mole.
Yeah.
he'd like hold the mask, the gas mask for the person as a costume,
Yeah.
and he had everyone sitting in one thing. He's just like, and you are not the
the
mole.
Yep.
Like, okay. Yeah.
Do you have something like that in season 2 where you guys got another sit down to tell you who was
Can't
what?
tell you.
Not that big.
You can't tell us who it is, but was there a
Maybe.
thing with a thing?
There was lots of things.
There's some
There's
pretty
some
huge
things.
reveals.
It
that
was
happen
non-stop
this
things
season.
for 13 episodes.
There's a lot
Yeah.
of things.
Just a big bag of
There's a lot
things.
A big bag of
There are a
Yeah.
lot of he affectionately refers to them as holy shit moments, and there are several. There are 4 big ones, but there are lots that I remember reading the script and just being like, why, what? But I'm excited to see them. Yeah.
There are a lot of ships, I would say, on this show, not just the physical ships that you get on. I mean, like relationship ships.
Oh, those ships.
Ship-
Shipping.
Shipping
yes.
ships.
The shipping
For some
ships.
more than others.
Yeah. Where do you stand on the ships, guys?
There's shipping all of us in every combination.
I've shipped a lot of weird things, but I want to know where you all
Do
stand.
tell.
I like to ship the android with everyone.
With everyone?
What,
That's what I'm
everyone?
saying.
I mean, after we had the,
Entertainment android.
that's what it is.
There it is.
Not
I
what
know
I
what
was
you're
going to
saying.
call
I don't
it.
really want to talk about her. Whatever.
You had amazing guest stars in season 1.
Yeah.
Oh, we've
and
got some pretty good ones in season 2 as well.
Yeah.
Well, Will Wheaton's character survived season 1. Does he return?
That's a good question.
Yeah, it's a good question.
That's a very good question.
Well done.
But who did we announced someone recently?
Yeah, Franca.
But Franca,
Franca. Franca
Lola.
Potente.
She's Lola from Run Lola Run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lola is coming to this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lola.
Lola
She
comes.
was.
And who else have we announced? This is like thin ice. I'm kind
I
of
know.
nervous about
Any
this.
minute now, we're going to break
I know,
space.
I'm scared to
Drown.
say one that we
Yeah.
actually
We have
Well,
Sean
they know
Zepos,
Melanie
we have
Liebert.
Melanie Liebert.
Melanie Liebert, yes.
Liebert, yes.
Melanie
right.
Liebert.
Who's very British
She's from
and
London.
has to speak with a not British accent on the show.
Yes.
And does an incredible job.
You Game of Thrones fan will see
She's
her.
really fantastic.
She goes in and out of it too. You can't even believe it. She just drops in and out of British to, I guess it's North American.
Yeah.
How exciting. All right, well, I know you all have questions as well, so please find the microphones. While you do that, I will ask one more question. If you could be a different character on your ship, who would you want to be?
Do I have to do that character well?
No. Nope.
Ladies first.
I would really want to try Zoe's part only because it's so hard. I've tried at home. I've never told her this.
She's never told anyone this, so you're welcome.
This is such a weird, embarrassing admission.
But there's that affected speech that she does, and it looks effortless, but you have no idea. Like, I have tried. I almost did, to try and do it just now. But it is very difficult to do it in a way, like she layers in, just don't, earmuffs, okay? She layers in like these wonderful subtleties and like truths and
thank you very much.
humor, and she does it in a way that just feels so truthful and still robotic and androidy. And every time I try, I just feel like an idiot. I'm like, I'm so glad I didn't audition for that part because I wouldn't have been hired. So it would be the android. It's hard. It's a good challenge.
Yeah.
I would love to try being 3 for a little while. Just because there's so many scenes where everybody else has all these tongue-twisting lines and they're explaining all this techie stuff about the ship, and then he just goes, "What does that mean?" And I'm like,
Yeah,
I
Anthony's
want those
lines.
lines. I don't want to be the one explaining things anymore. And he's just like, "In English, please," or he has a lot of scenes like that, and obviously he has a lot of dialogue at some points as well. But I think that would be fun, just to switch things up a little bit and not have to say the techie things anymore, because he never has to say them.
I think 4, because he has to do a lot of fights and he gets to do a lot of stuff, which I enjoy that stuff. And so, it'd be kind of cool to, be all stoic and just...
What about you?
Me? Who would I want to be?
Yeah, who would you want to be?
Oh.
Ooh, flipped it on her.
Come on. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, okay. So because I'm not an actor, I would want to be 3, because he likes to shoot things. He doesn't, as Jodelle said, he goes, "What does that mean?" And this is going to be awkward now, sitting on this stage, but he gets to sleep with 2.
So weird to applaud that. I'm trying to tell you how you're like, yes. Yeah. And
Why is that weird?
Zoe, who would you be?
I want to play everybody once, because everybody sort of scares me a little. There's something about every character that I think, you guys all bring something really interesting and unique to because of who you are and how you play them. And I think it would be such a challenge to figure out my version. What's Zoe's version of 6? What's Zoe's version of 4, 2, 5? Like, I think that would be... It's just a great challenge as an actor. That's what I love about acting so much, is that you have to figure out how to bring your stamp on a character that's on the page. 2 played by any other person wouldn't be the 2 you guys now love. And it's really interesting, that about the craft of acting to me.
I feel like 5 is I kind of like the audience's person, because she's not a murderer. And,
Everyone likes that in a person.
That's right. We seem to have forgiven everyone else for being murderers, so I don't know if that's really a thing. But I like that she is the audience's eyes onto this ship, because she's the innocent. I'm putting that in quotes because who knows?
Yeah, I feel like she's easy to relate to. I mean, I relate to her really well, to her quirkiness. And I find that her and I are pretty similar. Minus wearing every color at the same time.
I love that she wears every color.
Oh,
at
I
the same
love
time.
it, but it's a little much for my everyday outfits.
For a girl on the streets who came aboard a ship and doesn't really have much, she does have a huge wardrobe.
I'd like to borrow.
I've tried to bring up that issue before, and I don't know why.
Okay, so you've noticed it.
She goes shopping every time we stop at a space
from.
station. She goes shopping, and she's smart with her money. I think there was a scene where you did with Anthony. You said, and there's interest on that too, whatever.
Right.
Yeah, so she's very witty, and she buys herself new clothes. There we go.
Sure, he solved it.
No, but we don't actually have the entire truth of pre-memory wipe. Actually.
Yeah, not everything.
And she was on the ship before that, and we have a bit of a time jump from the time that she snuck on the ship and from when we had our memories wiped. So it could very well be that during that time that she was with us, she had her own stash of clothing. Like, obviously, she did. But that opening scene during the pilot where we're all in the locker rooms, we're like, hey, leather jackets that perfectly fit us. Amazing. That's all of our stuff.
Yeah.
Do we find out how long they were on the ship before the memory wipe in season 2?
I don't know if we get an exact timeline
but
of
yeah,
everything.
we
get a better idea
We get
of
a
what
good idea.
happened, but
Okay.
I don't know if it's broken down
You won't get a
that
date.
specifically.
You don't get dates, but we go all over the place.
Yeah.
What an evil laugh.
I know. I keep thinking about the things I want to tell everyone, and I can't.
Well,
Like how she practices the android at home.
We're not talking about that anymore. We're
Those
totally
sorts
not
of
talking
things.
about that anymore.
do you practice the eyes? Because the android's
That's
eyes.
the thing. It's the eyeballs, and it's like
I,
it's the eyes.
That blew
It's
up for
like,
me a bit,
it's
'cause
the
I didn't-
stoicism in the body.
Confession.
You know, there's just like there's a stillness that I'm clearly incapable of doing.
Let's
Yep.
move on.
Yep. Let's not talk about that
all
anymore.
right, let's talk about the ending, Roger.
Huh? What?
How dare you? That's my question.
Who said that? Hey, hey, you have to do what you think is right in life, right? No.
No.
No applause for that.
That's not the right answer. Try again. Give it another go.
Oh yeah. All right. Things will be answered in season 2, and maybe it's a part of a grander plan that.
Or
we
maybe
will
he's
have
evil. So hard to know. I'm just saying. I'm just giving out options. I'm just saying there's more than the one option.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
There's
But they
the
already
evil
think,
option
they already
also.
think I'm evil, so I'm trying to bring them back.
Right.
Yeah.
I think-
Right?
I think the reason we're
No.
so heartbroken is because he was like a big brother to 5.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's what it is. Look what you did.
Yeah.
Did. And she slapped me.
He betrayed me.
She did. That was a good one too.
Thank you.
Did you actually hit him? Did you actually hit him?
No.
Well, now I'm disappointed.
Do you want to try it now?
Yeah.
She tried. I had to duck a few times. See?
He won't let me.
Do you have a favorite reveal from the audience perspective from season 1, where you were maybe on Twitter and saw the audience freaking out, aside from what Roger did?
That freaked
I mean,
so
that
many
was
people
that was
out.
definitely
That
the
was
biggest Twitter freak out of everything in the whole season.
Yeah, no, people were. It's not because you said he didn't seem to be the guy that would do that.
Yeah.
He just really didn't. But I think when you get the explanation and his subsequent actions in season 2, then
You'll hate him.
Yeah.
I'm
Or
not
love
ready to
him.
forgive.
Or love him, I meant.
Or
I
love,
meant-
yeah.
I'm not ready to forgive. I'm not ready.
Oh, come on, we can hug it out.
Maybe.
No.
Were there other things that when you were watching and maybe tweeting along? Because you guys watch on Twitter, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did a ton of live tweeting, actually. It was really fun. I'm trying to remember a big reveal from the audience standpoint that made them.
Well, you tell us.
Yeah.
Anyone have any?
You're
big
the audience,
reveal
Jesus.
moments? You tell us.
Yeah, I know. No one's even
We
stepping up
know.
to the mic. You guys are just leaving
we
us
are we
hanging.
doing
It's
questions?
crazy.
Yeah, you
How does
may
it work?
ask. There are
There are microphones out
Should
there.
I go
No
ahead?
questions.
Run over
Any
to one.
questions? Come on. No,
I have
no,
questions.
No.
I mean,
Oh,
I'll still,
my goodness.
I'm fine sitting here asking what I want to know and
There
telling
you
Roger
go.
he's off.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so we know how each character, we get to know each character in season 1. With season 2, how do you think each character is going to, in their own way, either hate Roger's character or
Wow.
Excellent question.
I don't know what hate
answer
looks
that
like
without-
coming
without
from the
giving
android.
anything
I'm not
away.
sure.
Yeah, we can't give it away. Yeah.
No,
Hard.
yeah, that's a bit spoilery.
But you know-
unfortunately.
your opinion then, not from the show?
Right. I think that yeah.
It's hard to extrapolate our opinion from the.
Well,
Yeah.
how about this? Do you agree with the way your character reacts?
Yeah.
With whether one way or the other?
You know, I think their reactions stay true to their characters, and if you think about it, maybe they don't know who it is.
That's
they
not
get
true.
knocked out.
Two does.
Yeah, two. Yeah, no, yeah, she does.
Two
Two
sees the
sees
only
me,
person that
but she's the
sees
only
6
person that
at the very
knew
end.
at the end. Everyone else got knocked out, and they had no clue. They thought I was down in the infirmary, unconscious. So that's another thing that the reveal of that in season 2 and how they react to it. I think it stays true to each of their characters, and some will accept it more than others, and others may need some more convincing. And you know, that's life.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
We have another question.
Hi. Hello. I was just wondering, do you have a particular episode in season 2 that we can really look forward to? Like, obviously, without having to give anything away.
I think those first 2 episodes are going to kick some ass and answer a
Yeah.
lot of questions and raise a lot of questions and introduce some new characters. And I think those will, and all season long there, as she was saying, the holy bleep moments that kept happening. And so, when you think you've seen it all or they've done X, they'll do YZ and things. So
I really like episode 5. 5 is a really interesting story that deals with new
How
kinds
do you
of
remember what
technology.
happened in episode?
Yeah, they
one?
all
Only
kind of
because-
mushed to one big episode.
have no idea
They
what
don't
episode
mush into
the
one big
numbers.
episode because I remember vividly Melanie plugging episode 6 because that heavily features her storyline. And that's also an incredible, incredible story featuring one of our new series regulars. And we're dealing with some really interesting tech this year as well. That if you follow science news today,
That's
it's
amazing.
It's very topical. It's very topical.
Is there a magazine called Science News Today?
Guys, I really like space news.
There should be.
I'm a little bit nerdy. I'm really into that kind of stuff. It's interesting.
On Science News Today. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, Phil, thank
I think we have another question.
Okay, got 2 questions actually. To Roger first, do you prefer playing a good guy or a bad guy? And then to Zoe, I was curious what research you did before playing the android, and particularly if you've seen a show called Humans. It's an actress called Gemma Chan who was superb in that, and I was wondering if you'd seen that.
Is she better? She better?
Superb too.
It's okay. I understand.
I mean, as it's something we had said earlier in an interview we're doing upstairs, it's when a person is quote unquote bad, in most cases they don't know they're bad. They've been either hurt or circumstances have happened and they justify, as you know, most people justify what they do, saying there's a reason behind what they do. And my job as an actor is to find that perspective and play the truth of that person, whether it's good or bad. And so I don't prefer one or the other. I just like interesting characters, good or bad. The bad guys, of course, they get to take the gloves off and do whatever. And so that's kind of fun to get outside of your normal self and kill people and crazy things like that on screen. but I like both.
Awesome. Thank you.
As far as research, I didn't watch other androids. I didn't watch data from Star Trek or other androids from different shows, and I think partly because you're so limited, or I'm so limited on the show of what I can express, I didn't want to borrow anything even accidentally, inadvertently, which I think would be really easy to do with this kind of a character, because you're so kind of grappling with how does one play an android, and what does that even mean? So I didn't watch other characters. I'm sure she's wonderful. Whatever. And then I don't know what your other question was, but I'm sure it was really good.
Oh no! Look at this.
There's a really odd-looking pair that coming up to me.
Oh God!
We just have a little question.
Yeah.
Yeah, hi. My name is Chief Inspector Kirkin of the Galactic Authority.
Oh, hi.
I've come here from an alternate reality, and I was just wondering if I could be part of your show. I'd really like to be in space.
Come in. We got a spot for you right here.
We can come up on stage?
Yeah, come on.
I would appreciate it if you would come up on stage.
Shucks.
Please don't arrest us.
You've got something about you that seems so charismatic. Chris Holden Reed, everybody. He's also on Dark Matter.
Hi, everybody. Nice to meet you.
This is my puppet.
She's got where's your hands?
I know you know her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we got an extra mic. Amazing.
Yes, and you will possibly see this gentleman
You're here.
at some point in season 2. Maybe.
Yeah, you're on Dark Matter.
Yeah, you might.
I am, and I think Joe is announced, right? I've been blogged about. It's not that.
Jesus, I hope you have, because if
I really
he
hope
hasn't,
so. No, I have.
Yeah, you have been.
Joe has blogged
this
about
isn't
me.
news.
It's
This
not
He's
like
blogged about you,
this
so
isn't
there.
news, right?
Sci-fi is not going to
This
sniper
might be
shot
an
me right now.
exclusive.
You guys knew that, yes?
It's been
Yes,
announced.
okay.
Thank you.
What can
So-
you tell us about your character?
Yeah.
If you're going to be up here.
It's true. I should have pre-planned this. It was just quite spontaneous.
Yeah.
My name is Chief Inspector Kirkin of the Galactic Authority, yes. And I did do a British accent for this role, so you guys can judge me as harshly as you want. In fact, I didn't really do an accent because I wanted to, but they wouldn't quite let me, so it ended up being sort of this weird sort of in-between accent, so you guys will pretty much be going, where the fuck is
Can
this
you give
guy
us
from?
a taste? Can you just give us a taste?
Do you have a line?
Yeah, can you?
I'm trying to think of one.
Because a line would be good.
He is your puppet. Just working.
No, my character says his name a lot.
Oh, that's true.
And it's part of the thing about episodic television because, you never know when the audience is going to tune in, so they always want to, like, re-educate the audience on who people are. So I always walk in, and I think my entrance line is, I'm Chief Inspector Kirkin of the Galactic Authority. And then I go on some sort of, I can't give away any plot points, but that's about it. That's about it. You'll hear me say that a lot.
Chief Inspector Kirkin!
Beautiful.
Thank you for that taste test.
And where the fuck is your ship, the Raza? I'm really looking for the Raza. It wasn't on...
We generally don't drop the F-bomb on the show.
We don't get F-bombs, but we get an allotment of S-bombs.
Yeah,
and
S-bombs
this year,
everywhere.
I got to say 2 of them. Last year, I didn't get any, and this year, I got 2, and I was very pleased. I like to say that S word. I also got to say the B word. I think I cut it, though. 'cause
Bum. She means bum.
No. I cut it, though. I was supposed to say it to this guy.
Oh. You cut it?
I cut it. Because I wouldn't talk to you like that, because 2's a lot more professional than that.
Melissa, on the other hand,
Skibbity-dee.
Yep.
Wait, let's talk about 2 being super professional. Is she or is she not sleeping with 2 of her crew?
Thank you.
Listen, ladies, let's talk about this.
And doesn't
I
she
think-
go back and forth? Oh,
Okay,
wait.
no, not your question.
That's irrelevant. How dare you shame her?
Here's the thing. I think that it's one of the things that I loved about the first season with regards to her sexuality and her role on the ship is that she was able to balance that, because I think that there are women out there that do balance that and they don't allow it to affect everything else. And there is a common misconception that sex can always... This is such a weird thing to talk about with a bunch of strangers.
It's not. Go on.
It's not. It's totally fine. It's totally fine.
We've been doing it for years. Come on.
I know. Seriously, 5 years later, we don't care.
That's so true. But I think it's a really wonderful depiction of a certain kind of woman who is strong, professional, in charge, and able to... She compartmentalizes a bit. She absolutely does that. She sections off parts of her life in order to protect herself and also to protect others. And, she's trying to get her rocks off a little bit. She was
Also,
figuring herself out. She just got her memory back.
It's a
with
basic
her
human
crew.
drive.
What's that?
But with her crew.
There's
else is she gonna do
nobody
it with?
else.
You had...
For all you guys know, it's like I've also got it going on with the Android. Ship that.
They do. They already do.
It's like maybe season 2.
We're gonna do it.
Season 4.
Speaking of robots, let's talk about Ruby Rose for a second. Because that was an amazing story and an amazing performance. That's all I really want to say about it.
You have a thing for Ruby Rose, don't you?
I have a thing for
you're
a lot of
blushing a
people
little
on this
bit.
show. Have you not seen me talk about this show? I have a thing for everyone on this show.
Hey, that's what you said about our show. I mean,
That
come
show
on.
as well.
Hold on a
I
second.
have a thing for Canadian sci-fi. Do we have any? I see people walking, so I keep thinking we have people asking questions. Are there questions? There it is. See, I knew it.
Are you guys ever gonna fix your ship? Do you reckon?
Are we ever going to what?
Sorry?
Fix your ship, the Raza.
Fix it?
Yeah.
Well, then
see
the show's
broken
over,
some
isn't
way.
it?
Well, we haven't been able to fix the Raza.
Well, we got it
Is it
pretty
broken?
broke. Got it fixed.
Is it broken? Is there something about my ship that I don't know?
I should really know about this too. Like, how's the ship broken?
I don't know. It always seems broken in some way. Always blows
Listen,
up.
you know what? We would clean it and shine it up for you if we weren't busy like destroying things and trying to save our own butts.
Save
all
our
the time.
asses.
This is the whole issue. I mean, like,
only so
these
many hours a day.
ragamuffins are just running a busted up old ship.
Here's the thing, though. We have an android, and sometimes she's just chilling on the ship by herself. I don't know why she doesn't clean it.
You should see what I'm doing on my off hours.
There's an episode, the French-made android episode. She does a killer French accent.
Oh, that's true.
I've heard that.
And
the
she does a
android-
Jamaican one. And she does a Jamaican one. She does it.
Would you like to hear Zoe Palmer do the androids' accents?
Oh my God! Did you ever get to?
Can we just do it? Come on, the Rasta android. A little
No,
bit
wait.
of the
She had
Rasta
that whole
android.
episode where she ran through a whole bunch of them.
There's over 2 dozen.
Yes, that's exactly what I.
That was the line.
That was the one.
That was really good.
That was the Ruby Rose episode.
Yeah. That was so good.
That was so great because that's the first time you saw a hint of the android being so different because she showed jealousy, and it was very it was interesting. It was a lot of fun to see that and see you play it. The eyes, right, Melissa? Can you show us how she did that one?
No, I'm sure. I don't want to do it in front of people. I gotta get it down until I feel good about it, and then maybe I'll
Pretend you're in the
show it.
bathroom by yourself. You
No.
look in the mirror. And
I really can't.
you just no. Oh.
Roger, stop. I'm actually feeling shy right now.
I just really hope that after this, the entire cast goes home and tries to be the android. That's what I'm really hoping.
I think it's a really good acting exercise. And I still think that you guys need to try, when we're done and like, wow, we were at the Dark Matter panel. That was really great. Just like look at the chin or look at the forehead in order to
Try
get
to
the
be the
right
android.
eye line. Get the right eye line for the twinning shot.
I love that the android's eyes just, you never look up and you never look down.
Yeah.
I've spent a lot of time looking at your eyes, Zoe.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll
Not
stop making
creepy
this
at all.
awkward. Oh, you're here?
Sorry, I am. The Galactic
I
Authority
think
is here.
that's about the fact that she does only the movements that she absolutely has to, right? She's very sort
Economic.
She's economic. She's efficient. So
efficient, yeah.
she would look up if there was any good reason to, but she doesn't do anything really just to do it in the way that humans kind of do that sort of thing. She doesn't.
When I practice at home, I'm pretending like I'm reading code. You know what I mean? When you're just like reading things that aren't there? That's what I'm sorry. There's a question. I'm going to stop talking.
You keep giving us more material.
Sorry?
It's
Oh.
okay.
Is
Oh,
there
no.
a mic? Is the mic?
Go ahead. Let's see if we can hear you. Projects.
There it is.
There it is.
I was wondering, so obviously season's second's happening. Have we got confirmation for any more?
Sorry, what was the question?
Not a solid confirmation. It looks like it's going to happen, and
Yeah.
Joe has actually. Oh no! Next week, I think he's already plotted season 3.
Yeah, they're already working hard on planning for it. We haven't been officially picked up. We haven't had an official.
The writers'
network
room starts
announcement,
next. I think it's next
The
week.
writers, they're breaking stories at the end of June, which is great. And if we do go again, we're going to aim to start shooting in November. So we'll be getting stuff out to you guys sooner, hopefully. Yeah. Thank you.
That's a great question. Jodelle.
What?
There's a Jodelle right there. She's got a little goggles. Oh.
Oh my God. Hello.
Hi. I was wondering if because there's a lot of shipping that happens in the show, if there's any actual relationships that form that we're allowed to know about.
Do you mean
when the
like
cameras
on
are not
screen or
rolling?
Yeah,
what?
like actual characters getting together.
She has a lot of relationships.
Who are you pointing to?
No one.
No, but you know what? I think of all of it. I don't know if we mean like shipping as in like romantic shipping, but I think that the person or the sentient being that has the most relationships on the ship is this one here. She's the one that actually connects and has moments with everybody. Especially, it actually drove me crazy because never mind, it's season 2, but she gets all these like really wonderful moments with people, and I'm like, I wanted to be there for that. Like, what am I doing? Why am I off doing something? I'm sorry. What was
We
your
had that one
question
scene
again?
though recently.
Which one? Oh yeah.
Are there?
Right?
Shh, don't tell anyone
No, I
about
won't.
that, though.
But you know, it involved a box,
Oh, wow.
an actual box.
What was your question?
Get together in a relationship in the show.
Like get-togethers in...
Actual romantic relationship.
Like
romantic
date and
relationship.
stuff.
That's what yeah.
difficult to date.
It is.
Are you
it
talking
is
about
difficult
season
to
2,
date.
or what are you trying to... Oh, we can't tell you that. But you know, she may continue her lovely ways.
Just hanging
Roger.
me out to dry.
Roger, stop shaming her. You're not allowed to speak anymore.
You know what? I think 6 is jealous because 6 wants some action.
Slash.
No, wait, no, he's like, not from...
Jodelle, I want to know if you learned any like technical.
No, I don't know what I'm saying at all.
You don't know any of it.
I have no idea what my lines mean. I just memorize them and I say them. And I would like to say that I've actually learned some things about how technology works, but I haven't. I've learned to pretend that I know. So that's also a skill, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
Are you tech savvy at all? Like, you know how to use your phone and stuff?
I do know how to use my phone.
Pretty good.
I mean, I don't think that I could run a spaceship.
Yet.
I can, you know, download Candy Crush.
You're on it.
So that's something I've got going for me, I guess.
Awesome. Yes.
Hi, I was just wondering from an acting point of view, if you had to change sort of the way you prepared initially when you didn't have a backstory for your character.
Well, you know, as we glean and learn more about our characters, it layers our performances, and it's great in a sense because we're allowed. We got the script, and we brought what we thought was the right thing to these characters, and brought it alive. Then all of a sudden he tells us, "Oh, but you actually were formerly a cop," and you go, "Oh my God!" So some of that, rigidity, whatever comes to bear, and we're allowed to grow gradually, which is kind of fun to play as an actor because you add these layers in, but you don't want to completely change everything. But knowledge will allow you to, explore and try different things.
I would have liked to have known what I discovered about my character later on. And I tried to press the writers to tell me because I had a hunch about it, and they denied it. And I wanted to know because I think that a character that is so intuitive and instinctually driven would have some sense that something is different about her. I don't think that it would have blindsided her. I think that she would have known, she would have felt it inside, and I would have liked to have been able to layer that in. But flesh and blood, I'm flesh and blood, and everything was fine. But yeah, I think I would have liked to have had that piece of the puzzle for myself. Yeah.
Thank you. We are out of time, but luckily you are all here to take pictures with people and sign autographs, and we have another panel with you tomorrow, I believe. So thank you, everyone. Let's show some appreciation for our lovely panel.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for coming.